Hey everybody, welcome to the Adventure Archive. It's Cairn night, going live. First and foremost, thank you guys for checking out our new videos we released. Those are doing quite well, so appreciate you guys viewing those and the feedback. And got a lot of new subs, so if you guys are new here for tonight, welcome. If you're going to watch this VOD in the future, welcome then. And don't forget, like the stream or like the VOD, whichever you're doing. That helps us out a lot. We're trying to grow this tiny channel back up again. But let's begin, shall we? So I don't think I've ever retconned anything on a game I've run, but I think it's important to do so because we're learning the system. I'm not sure if you guys know, but I put a couple polls out there to see after the game. Jessica was like, hey, wait a minute, I don't understand. Why couldn't I have thrown the bomb? And we started thinking about it. I'm like, you know what, you're right. I read the books, you guys agreed. Bomb should have went off before we had to actually roll a formal initiative dexterity save. So what we're doing is we're rewinding all the way back to while the rest of the party was taking Jandy to the south in a copse of trees, and Rune was going to ready her magical, not magical, it's like a alchemical bomb or something, right?
Yeah.
While these night cats are rushing forward from the forest across the dried riverbed. But before that, briefly, if you guys, just to kind of remind you guys what happened, they went to Dead Mill, where they are now. They investigated some stuff. They found, they saved Jandy, who was in this perpetual death loop. He kept stepping off into the quicksand that is surrounding this this old mill. It almost appears that the entire mill is sinking down. And when Sparrow went in, she realized that it's very... the footing isn't quite good in here. Things are going to collapse. They explored some more. They found secret messages on the paddles on the water wheel that indicated which way to turn it, because the millstone inside was damaged, the machinery there. And what it did is it revealed some kind of strange device that resembles like a gyroscope, or it appears to be something to do with time. So that's what they found. Also, in the dry riverbed, they noticed some kind of strange light under some leaves and debris. They went to investigate. They found a cage, an iron cage, housing a will-o'-the-wisp. They let the will-o'-the-wisp go, and it angrily flew off into the forest, the stone forest to the north, which caused a little bit of a ruckus because it scared or attracted the attention of the nightcats. So these fierce, black-furred creatures came out of the forest, noticed the party. Actually, one did in the beginning. They dispatched of that creature very quickly. And then more ended up coming while the party was exploring the surroundings. And that's where we're going to begin. The rest of the party is dashing south with Jandy to find a refuge in this copse of trees. And Rune is standing there ready to blow everything up. So, let us do it. Do you want to cast the bomb? Or do you want to do something else? You want, yeah, we should have it as dramatic as it was last time. It was a hell of a shit show. Let's not sugarcoat it. It was cool, it was fun, but I think learning this game and knowing the rules, like we'll just see how it unfolds. Who knows? Maybe it's gonna go worse. We'll see.
Oh, it might.
Okay, so you are right outside the western side of the mill. These night cats are snarling, running toward you, and you can throw your bomb, and just as a reminder, there are no attack rolls in this. So all you have to do is roll... Oh, another thing I'm going to rule too, another failing of mine, which someone in the comments, thank you, I can't remember your name, but I ruled them as a detachment. So a detachment in this game is a large group of animals. They're acting as one unit. Which, you could argue, a pack of night cats could be. However, I noticed in some of the stat blocks in the books that it does indicate whether something is a detachment or not. My confusion was that and this is for future GMs out there for this game, for this adventure, is that I assume that, oh, it says in the book under Nightcat, attacks in packs. So my brain immediately went to, oh, detachment. But it doesn't say detachment in there, so I think we're just going to treat these as individual creatures for now, and I'm going to kind of move forward with that logic, assuming a stat block is going to say detachment, if it is one. So anyway, Rune, do you want to toss the bomb?
Yes.
So you get to roll a d12, I believe that's the damage, right?
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens to these night cats as they are rushing. Oh yeah, I need to bring... And everybody brought their HP back up. Those of you who lost it, right? And your strength. Okay. Oh, what a roll. We got a 10 on a d12. So this bomb arcs beautifully across the landscape. The cats don't seem to notice whatsoever. They're just intent on feasting on your flesh. And that is a 10 points of damage. These things only have... Actually, sorry about that. You got to roll it 4 times. I totally forgot because it's a blast. So with a blast weapon, you have to roll damage for every single weapon. Or, sorry, enemy.
Okay.
So that's 1.
Okay.
Oh, a 12! This is an Uber bomb. Okay, that's 2.
It landed in that one's mouth.
An 11! Holy crap!
Hell yeah.
This is insane. It's gonna be a 1. Oh, it's a 12! Dang! This thing goes
bad rolls off.
off. It goes off. Holy crap, that was great. Do I have any bomb stuff in here? I feel like I got like bomb effects. No, I just have smoke bomb.
There's just a massive crater here, and like the forest is on fire, and
boom! There's a little bomb. There's some bomb action. I wish there was some fire. So this thing arcs beautifully. It lands. Yes, indeed. I think that's a good call, Matt. That this entire embankment sinks down into the ground. Where's my pen at? I want to mark this thing up. So we'll just say like this whole thing right here sunk down. It's not a black hole. Maybe that's a bad idea. But anyway, the bank there has been demolished, and every single one of these characters they are negative, negative, negative. So they only have 6 HP. I wish I could change the opacity of that. Anyway, I'll figure it out later. So the way it works in this game is once you take all of your HP away, you have to roll a critical save. Although, hang on, let me do some math here because one of them's dead for sure. Strength is... Wait, hang on, let me see what strength is. Okay, screw this thing. I probably should have done that. It was just screwing me over. Okay, so they have 9 strength each, 6 HP. So that would take 0. All of these guys, however, have to make a save. A strength save. So this first guy, he's gonna fail, guaranteed. As this thing explodes everywhere. Yep. Dead. This guy explodes into all kinds of black or nightcat bits. This one not gonna fare much better. Yep, dead. So if I didn't explain, I still have that bomb going off. The way it works is you have to roll a crit, a strength check after you suffer beyond your HP to see if you're still alive. However, with creatures, if they fail their crit, they pretty much die. Yep, fail. These are all really high rolls. Let's see what this guy does. Yeah, you blow all of these things to bits. There is just meat and singed fur everywhere. And that that brutally, that quickly ends combat. I don't know why there's still these smoke bombs going on. What did I do? It's that cool of a bomb. All right, so we're going to end combat there. And you guys in the distance, you hear this massive explosion. It shakes the trees. It shakes the earth. How does... Tell us what Rune's doing. What is Rune doing in the aftermath of this nuclear bomb, basically?
She probably ducked and covered a little. Shielded Milky, even though Milky's already dead. And then kind of like looked back to see the damage.
Yeah, so like I said, the embankment pretty much from... Oh man, it's still blowing up, which is good, I guess. So this entire embankment, all up here, is just blown to smithereens. It's now just caved into the dry riverbed. I'm going to also say that you blew away some of the old mill, and now it's just like kind of leaning even more precariously. Yeah, it's the earth all around it is just charred black, smoking clearly by the by the map that I can't stop smoking. So what do you guys want to do as as this settles?
I'm gonna start running towards the group.
Okay, so you make it toward the group. I'll delete all these guys. Yeah, you join the rest of your party in the copse of trees. Jandy is shaking. He's holding a tree. He's hugging a tree. He's so petrified. His face pressed into the bark.
Well, that was subtle.
Yes, it was much larger than I had anticipated, actually.
Well, it worked. Who knows what would have happened if they had gotten to you before you had a chance to throw that bomb. It would have probably been... I mean, I thought about rushing back and helping you out, but it looked like you had it under control.
Yeah. Could have been really bad.
So Jandy hears you guys talking, and he finally gains some courage back, and he turns and says, What was that sorcery? I can't hear anything.
Just a homemade bomb. Don't worry about it. Let's continue on.
You don't have any more, do you?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
But we weren't consumed by, what were they, night cats?
Yeah, they were night cats. The creatures that, I think his name was Lucian, warned you about, the hunter that was on his way back to Isthmus.
So it could have been far worse. If I would imagine that being consumed by night cats is it's much worse than a slight ringing in your ears.
I could only imagine. Yeah, it'd be awful.
Okay.
Well, what should we do now? Where should we continue our search?
Well, we ought to get him, the Scriven here, back to town, yeah? Where it's safe.
What say you, Jandy? Would you like to return to town?
I would much love to return to town and talk to Giva.
Who's Giva? And I recognize Giva from the letter that whenever we
yeah, exactly.
went through his room.
She's a friend of mine in town. We like to have nice long chats and share a glass of wine.
Well, let's not delay you then. And she'll help him down from the tree that he's hanging, attached to.
Okay.
And
And you guys head back. Okay. I will bring the map you guys all have back up here on screen. So you guys find yourself there. Again, this is a very small region. This isn't a big region. So it took you maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour to walk to to the dead mill. So it's going to be about the same to walk back. So I'm going to say probably around now, you guys are maybe early afternoon-ish, something like that, because you arrived in Isthmus in the morning. So you guys make your way all the way back to town, unless there's anything else you guys want to do along the way. No? Okay.
No.
All right. So I will activate the town. You guys enter. Or you guys, oh yeah, I shouldn't put him out here. He's no longer out here. You guys return back to Isthmus. I'll just say you guys like maybe over here. And Jandy is also, of course, accompanying you. Let me get his token in here. And when you guys make your way into town, he stops at this small house right here. Oh, well, this is Giva's home. I'm here. I'm sure she would welcome you inside if you wish to come, but I don't want to if you have other plans, that is. I don't want to impose.
I think we're okay. It was lovely to meet you, Jandy, but we'll let you visit with your friend. I'm sure you've probably seen enough of us for one day.
He kind of cracks a smile at that and nods. Very well, I thank you for bringing me back here. And he
You're quite welcome.
Walks into the house and disappears. So you guys are left in the relatively central part of town. There's a couple people walking around here and there. They don't really pay you much mind. Nobody really sees Jandy as well. They're kind of busy about their daily duties. So what would you guys like to do?
Yeah, Erasmus immediately turns to Sparrow and he's like, yeah, so what's the plan?
That's an excellent question. I kind of wanted to go over what we had already and see what our next step should be.
Yeah, if you guys need a recap or any information you may have forgotten, just let me know.
We have like that weird gyroscopy thingy.
Yeah, you have this weird thing you found under the millstone in Deadmill. You did get, let's see what other information you've been given. You already explored Deadmill. Well, that information was given to you by Drum, the guy who works at the inn. You also spoke to Flavia, and she didn't really give you too much information. However, you do remember there was a locked cellar door outside the inn itself, and then you guys know all that, and there's like a double chain on the inside. And the last piece of information I believe you have is when Lucian warned you of the swamps, the bog, east of East Lake.
Right.
That it smells foul. It smells like death.
Of course.
And of course, you're looking for a missing man, Aldra, husband to Flavia, the butcher. Yes.
Well, we'll be staying at the stuffed inn.
The stuffed inn.
What was that? What it was called?
Yeah.
The stuffed crust inn. Perhaps in the middle of the night, one of us, preferably someone good at sneaking around, can go in and look in the basement.
I am very intrigued about what is going on with that basement. That is for sure.
Because there's probably some kind of clues down in there, and you know, if you could probably sneak in there, Sparrow, perhaps Rune and I could you know, be a distraction if need be.
Possibly. If Rune would lend me Milky, perhaps we could check it out together, and that way she could know if I need any assistance.
Yes, Milky would be happy to assist you.
So you want to use her like the simple command to be aware and share her senses?
Yeah.
Okay. So it is only, like I said, it's early afternoon. There's people kind of just out working. I'm not sure if you guys planned on doing this at night or in the middle of the day.
That would be a night thing, yeah, I think. But maybe we had heard about somebody, was it Uldra, walking around the path around the lake? Was that a thing?
So there was
it wasn't
yeah.
Uldra.
Yeah, there was it was Fasha. So Fasha is the other person you learned about, who is a farmer from Dunstan. So on your map, you see there is a marking of the Dunstan farm to the south of Eastlake. And he, you do know that he's kind of become chummy with the Reeve. And you also know that Flavia can't stand him.
Oh.
So he's kind of a questionable character. It's kind of like you're getting very, very opposing opinions of this guy. But you haven't seen him anywhere.
So I could do with a walk, kind of check out the path. And the path, does it go through the swamp or past the swamp?
I will bring up the map so you can check it out. So there's a dotted path here, and that path will lead you, around there, and it's on the edge of the swamp. So the swamp over here, or the bog, the fens, is all up here. There also is a structure of some kind hidden in some trees. You notice that. None of this is labeled, though. They're just little landmarks of stuff. You don't know if they still exist there. There's also a small creek you can see from the north leading out of the stone forest that is kind of, looks like it's almost feeding into the bog. And then, of course, what you would imagine is Dunstan Farm right here to the south.
Okay. What do you guys think? Care for a walk?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I was thinking of just going through town, you know, maybe getting a couple of Bratsworths, catching a puppet show, but yeah, we go that way.
Perhaps we can get some brats for the road.
Some what for the road?
Whatever type of food he just said.
It's a bratwurst. It's like a sausage.
Bro, okay. So you guys want to go get some sausage from Flavia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Real quick. We could just hand wave that though.
Okay. You don't want to RP that? Sure.
No,
okay.
I really would like to RP that.
We want to leave it up to the listeners or viewers' imagination what getting sausage from Flavia really entails.
Yeah, there's a lot of negotiation on pricing and quality.
Yep.
Okay.
They say you shouldn't learn how the sausage is made, but I kind of really want to know.
Quote of the night. All right. So you guys don't really want to do that, right?
Right. Yeah. We'll go ahead and head towards
just making sure. Just making sure.
The east.
You guys leave Isthmus Town again, and as you are leaving, there's an old man sitting there just off the side of the road. He's whittling a wood knife. And he sees you approach, and he looks up, he's squinting into the sun, and he shakes his head. You know, this business about that butcher. I think those Tideborn freaks are responsible. And you know the Tideborn, one of the priests of the Tideborn sent you here So they worship a god of lakes and rivers, stuff like that. It's pretty well known. And he goes on and says, "Did you know that they drown their own, embracing only the survivors into their ranks, all the while treating the dead as unworthy? Did you know this? Disgusting."
Well, that's everyone has their customs and things that they follow. They might think some of the things you believe in are rather strange.
Really? Drowning? You don't find that odd? You don't find that troubling?
I've seen a lot of odd and troubling things.
Okay, he kind of just shakes his head and goes back to his whittling.
He's whittling a knife
With
out
a knife.
with a knife?
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
I believe that's what it says. Let me just double check. Yeah. He's whittling a wood knife with a knife. So yeah, you guys know about the Tideborn. Like I said, you do know that Flavia is there was a big, beautiful painting in their bedroom of the god of the Tideborn as well. So you know, and of course this priest sent you from the cities to go help her out. So there is, there's some ties there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Erasmus does approach that older gentleman, and he says, "You worship any deity of any kind?"
Oh, just the earth under my feet, the sky above my head, and the breeze that is, and he kind of turns his head up and closes his eyes, and a breeze comes by. That's good enough for me. How about you?
Oh, well, I don't know. I've wandered around so many places. I've seen so many different things that I really can't make up my mind. I like to shop around when it comes to gods, and I'm in between right now. But it's good to know that, sounds like you just believe in anything, I guess.
Oh, just you stay away from the Tideborn. And he wags his finger at you. Sick, very sick people.
I'll be sure to do that. And then Erasmus will, he'll walk away from that old man, and when he'll look at the party and be like,
That guy.
Tell me, old timer, have you seen any Tideborn around here?
Well, I have not seen any with the amulets. Are you aware of their sign, the symbol they wear? I'll tell you. I'll just tell you. It's 3 squiggly lines. It's quite strange. I'm assuming it's mirroring the waves upon water, because that is what they care about most.
Well, that was what Flavia was wearing, right?
Correct.
Okay.
That is what she was talking about. She was wearing that. No, she was wearing a key. But I think you learned that Aldra is the one who had the necklace.
That's necklace, right.
Yeah. So he's the one who had the necklace, and he's in he was spoken of very highly by the priests that gave you this quest.
Dasani.
That's right. Great name for a Tideborn.
Yeah.
And Aquafina, the mistress of Dasani.
Actually, Aquafina sounds like a great goddess name. Just saying.
So again, I ask, have you noticed any Tideborn walking?
No,
lanes?
I mean, they don't have fish gills or anything like that. I haven't seen any priest walking around here. Just, Fasha from time to time, walking around the lake, keeping to himself. Usually in the evenings. It's sometimes I stay out a little bit later than I should, these old bones. And I see him making his way around the path. Could be going to his farm, though. It's very close to here. Strange fellow indeed. Keeps to himself a lot lately.
When he sets off from town, does he? It seems like you've kept an eye on him. Does he typically go this way, indicating the north path around the lake?
I've usually seen him head south, but his farm is that direction as well.
Okay. Thank you. I suppose.
Good day to you. And he goes
Same
back
to
to
you.
his whittling. So you guys are at a crossroads. Do you want to head north or south? Or you could go to the edge of the lakes as well. It's up to you. And you can see these. They're within view. So just the glimmering light of the sun across their surfaces, east and west.
I have a quick game mechanic question.
Yeah.
How long can we keep going before we really need rest? Are there like exhaustion mechanics in this game, or like
Yeah, it's pretty standard. So
ourselves?
you can go a full day. If you go beyond a day, you become, I believe, deprived. Which means when you're going without sleep or going without food, you become deprived. We can look up those rules. But yeah, it's not, I mean, it's like most games. You can travel all day long and you sleep at night, typically. If you want to push beyond that, there could be some penalties, yeah.
Well, real quick though, I'm gonna also take off 1 gold. I'm gonna pay the old man 1 gold for all of his information he gave us.
He raises an eyebrow. Oh, what's this for?
Well, for giving us really solid advice, staying away from crazy people and talking about people we were asking about. Just a small token of appreciation.
It's very generous of you. My mind is, it comes and goes, but today, right now, in fact, it's a little sharper than usual. I would stay away from the fens if I were you. Something isn't right there. It smells of rot. The wind carries it, the wind that you mocked me that I worship, carries it over the lakes to my doorstep. And there's also a strange white tower to the north, surrounded by trees. But I wouldn't go there if I were you. Anyway, have a nice day.
Erasmus turns to the group. We've totally got to go to this white tower.
Immediately, that's where I would like to go. Yeah.
The terrible tower.
I think we should head north first.
Oh, you want to head north? Okay.
If my party members agree and Ash says yes, north. Yes, that sounds great.
Okay, so you guys... Oh, yeah, Ash. By the way, I know Ducky's usually not on camera, but he is not here tonight. He will be played by a variety of people. So far, Matt. We'll see if he keeps to it, but yeah.
All of us will have a turn.
He'll be even more quiet than usual. So you guys head up north. Are you guys rounding the lake?
Yeah, sticking to the path probably, not like taking any shortcuts across.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys
to the dots.
You guys make your way over there, and indeed you do see bogland stretching out before you off the path, and there is a tower in the distance. And you can see that this walking path kind of diverges from the main one, leading toward the tower.
Okay.
And it continues to go south as well, along the bog, or the fens. Same difference, I guess.
Then Sparrow, I think, will just look at everybody else as she begins walking down that offshoot of the path.
Okay.
Towards the White Tower.
All right. So, are the rest of you guys following?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let me move
Just
some
remember,
tokens.
I only have one bomb. And exploded.
Did
so
it say like can you manufacture these, or you just had it and that's
it didn't say.
Okay.
I would like to.
Well,
Just for the sake of
it was
ease of
quite
use.
effective. Hopefully, we won't need it.
So Sparrow,
Last time we were warned, we ran into a bunch of cat creatures.
Very true.
Definitely. All right, so let me change you guys. So this is where you are. You find yourself on this path, and this path is diverging again. So you see this creek running across, or running through this walkway, and yeah, you can kind of go left or right, or I should say north, northwest, or northeast. But you do see this, and I'll show the viewers, you do see this tower looming in the distance. And the ground here, of course, is very boggy because it's a bog, so very squishy. You hear frogs and other kind of insects buzzing about.
Did these maps come with the adventure, or did you find
No,
these?
these are generated, and then some paint overs and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Does the path that goes to the right seem to head more towards the tower than the path to the left?
I mean, it's
Or
kind of
is
hard
it
to,
really
it's
they
almost
wide?
like, yeah, distance wise, it's a toss up, you know. But they're both leading to the tower. It's almost like they're just completely splitting where you guys are, and then meeting at the tower, which have these steps kind of leading down from these dark entryways. From, you know, they're kind of small from here, but you can make them out. And there is a stream cutting through the path here. But yeah, that's what you guys see.
I think that Sparrow will turn to the other two and say, well, any preference?
Well, I like the sound of running water, so whichever path has the most of that ambiance, I'll enjoy the most.
Okay. So then east it is.
Yes.
So you guys make your way east along this path. And when you come to this creek, this little creek that's running through, and it continues on winding all the way up, you can see the tree line of the stone forest as well. But as you guys make it, the path crosses, or actually I should say, the creek crosses through the path. But over this path is a log. It looks like somebody put it there, you know, as a little bridge to cross this thing. Because it's not hard to cross, but just a little convenience.
Looking at it, does it look like it's been there for a long time, or that like has like moss and like has it settled, or does the log look like it was just recently rolled over there?
So this log looks like it's been here for a decent amount of time. Not an ancient log. It does look like it's been moved. It hasn't been completely weathered by the sun or anything like that, and there's not any fresh moss or things growing over it. So you would guess relatively newish, probably within, I don't know, a few weeks or so.
Okay. Sparrow will step up on it and will attempt to cross the creek.
Okay. So you step up on it, and right when you put your foot on it, you feel like something is off. It's a little bit more brittle than anticipated.
How wide is the creek?
It's probably like let's just say 4 feet across, 3 or 4 feet across.
Okay. Does she feel like it's going to break if she continues
Yeah, there's
walking?
something suspicious. You know, you, Sparrow, are very savvy when it comes to traps. And you feel like this was laid with purpose. and there is something perhaps underneath it.
I will step off of it immediately.
Okay.
And then crouch down and look to see more of like the structure of it underneath it as it's crossing.
Yeah, so this creek, there's actually a bit of a bank, so it's not touching the water. It's like leading over the water. Some of it crumbles away, and you look down into the creek, and you see that there is this moss kind of plant thing, but it's very, you see these, as you really look closely, you see there's all kinds of spines sticking out of them. These very brutal thorns.
This appears to be set up to ensnare or hurt people crossing who are unaware. Whether intentional or not, I'd probably lean towards intentional. We might not want to cross here.
Yeah, and Ash notices, and he kind of gets down on his hands and knees and inspects it carefully. That there's spine moss. You don't want to touch that.
Very good. Okay. Looking ahead, it looks like we can just like go skirt around the
you can take a longer
river
way
and just rejoin the path.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you guys skip the path. It's a little boggy here, so your feet are, squelching through this thing. You guys are going to the ankle. Your boots are getting damp, but you eventually make it to the tower. So you heard rumors as well that this place might be haunted, but so far it feels very normal, like a normal bog to you. Just wildlife around here. No ghouls lurking in the shadows. But you make your way to the tower, and it is very broken, very ruined, as you can see. It stretches 40 feet high above you, and it's white as snow. Bleached white, almost like bone. And the upper portion of the tower you can see is completely crumbled away. And on the interior, you see there are a couple of entrances, but it is completely bathed in darkness.
The integrity of this building doesn't look that great. Well, we should probably be careful. Does it...
Oh, and I forgot to mention, there is a ladder leaning up against the tower's side, leading up to one of the higher portions.
Like a built-in one, or like someone left one?
Yeah, it's like someone left it here. It's kind of off to the side in the shadows over here, but it's a hefty ladder leading up to the second level.
Looking at the ground, and as we're kind of approaching, as we're walking down this path and approaching this tower, are we seeing any signs that anybody has come this way? Footprints, anything left, anything broken, like as far as like tracking goes?
Yeah, so you definitely see there's been some traffic along the path, for sure. It's not, it doesn't seem like a singular person. But yeah, there's been multiple paths back and forth. These are definitely clearly walking paths that have been created from a lot of traffic.
Okay.
But they're not wide, right? It's like if you're going on a hike or something, it's a pretty narrow little dirt path.
Okay. Well, if Sparrow does not see anything or notice anything kind of out of the ordinary, she will continue walking down towards the tower.
Okay, you walk toward the tower, and you're greeted with these, there's these doors, these entryways, I should say, these arches that are dark inside, and that ladder is leaning up against the eastern side, leading to the second level. So, do you want to go inside, or up the ladder, or do something else, or just investigate?
I think she would probably walk up those stairs towards the entrance,
Okay.
and she has um. Well, if there are multiple entrances and she peeks in one of the doorways, can she see inside? Like, is
Yeah.
there enough light streaming from like
Yeah.
the other entrances?
Yeah. It's
So she'll
very.
peek inside to see what it looks like inside.
Yeah. It's very dark in here, but your eyes do adjust quickly enough, and you see that there is this amber-colored liquid creating a very deep pool on the entirety of the inside of the base of the tower. So there's nowhere you can step. It's you can't quite see the bottom of it, but you do see something glimmering at the bottom. Something shining.
Do I recognize the type of liquid it is?
No, it's nothing like you've ever seen before. Rune, however, may have a background to investigate things like this. I mean, you work in laboratories and stuff, right?
What do you see in there?
There's some sort of substance on the ground, and something shining beneath it. I can't enter the building, though. There's no place to step.
It's liquid.
Yes. I'll kind of step to the side, and I'll look around and see if there's like maybe like a stick or something I can pick up. If it seems like something we might want to like poke or.
Yeah. So are you gonna poke it with a stick, or or is Rune gonna kind of get a closer look, or what's the?
I'll wait for Rune's go
Okay.
ahead before touching it.
So you take
Okay.
a look at this stuff, Rune. You've never seen anything like it before. You are almost positive that it's not natural, though. It's an unnatural. It's nothing you've ever seen. That doesn't mean it's not a natural occurring thing, but it just immediately you're given the sense of an artificial nature.
Erasmus, can you come over here real quick?
Yeah, sure. What's going on?
I'm wondering if you could do your little shirt trick where you see if your stone is glowing.
Yeah.
This liquid does not look natural to me.
So Erasmus will pull his shirt open and take a look down. Is his stone glowing?
No, it's not.
Well, according to my stone, there's nothing magical going on right here, right now. If you how deep is the water? Do you need my drowning rod? Because you can make that thing as long as you need to be able to reach stuff.
It doesn't look like water, but there is something glinting,
Yeah.
something shiny.
Mhm.
And I holding the stick, I will kind of point it over to where that I can see it.
Yeah, there's a glimmering light below the surface. Below the
I have to
surface.
be honest, I don't trust it after that trap we encountered and now glimmering treasure under a suspicious liquid. I don't know how I feel about it.
There's very little light in here, so it's difficult to see. I mean, there is a luminescence happening at the bottom but it's very murky liquid, and you'd probably need another light source of some kind to get a good idea of what's down there. But it appears to be... Go ahead.
I was going to say, does it look like it's within arm's reach?
The glittering thing?
Yeah.
No, so it's like kind of more toward the middle, I guess. So it's like... it's a big base tower, right?
Mhm.
And then it's completely filled with this amber liquid. And the glimmering's kind of somewhere middle-ish of the area of the room. Well, not really a room, but you know what I mean, the space.
So Erasmus kind of wants to just, kneel down and touch this liquid, see what happens, but
If you go to do that, Ash like stops your hand and says, "Wait a second, I'll go ahead and take care of this." and he will he'll light
Put
a
his hand
torch,
in.
and he'll kind of like hold a torch over the sorry, Ducky. He'll hold the torch out into the room over the liquid.
Okay. So you shine it over, and this is enough light to see below the surface. So there is a pretty bright reflection on the surface, but you can see through it. And the glittering, the shining, I should say, you see that it's a skeleton lying at the bottom. And it's wearing armor, which is chainmail. And that chainmail is perfectly preserved. It's not rusted, it's not broken. All of the links appear to be intact. And you also see that it's wearing a belt, and there is a belt pouch on that belt. And you see actually also a torn silk rope coiled about its body. So there's a rope down there, there's a bag, there's chainmail, and there's a skeleton wearing all of this. So, but everything else seems perfectly preserved except the skeleton, of course.
Would Ash's
the
briar
skeleton
vine?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, would Ash's briar vine be able to reach the skeleton? How far away out is he exactly?
No, I would say that would be a tough, because it's 4 feet down deep, and you know it's probably like, I don't know, 8-10 feet across. So I don't even know how you'd do that. Like, you'd have to get in basically, because you know if you throw a whip and it's just gonna like sink down.
Well, we could attach his whip to the end of my drowning rod, which I can go make as long as I want. And
yeah, what is this thing? I totally forgot about it. What do you got? A downing rod to find water?
It's my ace in the hole for this situation.
It's your 10-foot pole. Is that what it is?
It can grow indefinitely.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Holy crap! You're a foundling, so
it's a finger-sized
drowning
wooden
rod.
stick.
Okay, yeah, finger-sized wood stick that doubles in size each time it is fully submerged in water. It doesn't shrink back down. Oh,
yeah.
So once you put it in water, that's the length. That's cool.
Yeah, if I keep every time I put it in the water, it'll double, but yeah, it'll never go back down. Right now, it's about the size of, I believe it's the size of 2 fingers.
You put it in water already?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Episode
I guess.
1. Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely sure that this is water, and that's the problem.
Well, there's water right outside, the stream with those little
That's
little spike ferns out there.
So Sparrow is going to go over to one of the other entrances, so she can kind of get another view as Ash is holding the torch inside.
Okay.
Over the skeleton, like looking at the ceiling, is it complete over it? Is there any holes in the ceiling or something could have fallen?
Yeah, it's pretty complete. Oh, let me make sure really quick. No, I guess so. It's it's basically you see through the tower looking up.
Okay. I think that we might want to check what is upstairs before we mess with this anymore. This feels like something that could be really dangerous. And if somebody fell into that and their skeleton is what remains, then I'm not sure that we should go messing with it just yet. That's just my gut feeling. Until we're sure and have no other alternatives.
Yeah, well, you know what they say: if you don't go with your gut, you'll get in a rut. So, I'm with you.
I have heard people say that actually.
Yeah, while you guys are on the inside, kind of leaning over, looking up, you can tell that this ladder does lead up to the second area, but there is no floor. So it's just kind of a tower all the way up. So climbing this ladder will give you like a better vantage, perhaps, but there's not like an actual floor to
explore.
To explore, yeah.
Does the ladder go all the way up to like one of these windows?
Yeah, it's a really tall ladder, yeah.
I wonder if this skeleton was the last user of this ladder. Mistakenly thought there was a floor to hop through the window to land onto, and hence there was not.
Well, let me go up and see if there's anything looks differently from up above. And Sparrow will test the ladder to make sure that it's sturdy enough to support her weight before she
definitely
ascends.
Yeah, it's well
she'll head on
made.
up.
The rungs are very worn smooth from use. But yeah, you make your way up. You look through that little passage and you see down into the dark pit of amber liquid. And you can still see that glimmering light at the bottom, which you know is the skeleton wearing the armor.
Ash will say, "Perhaps we could use the ladder to drag the skeleton and the armor closer to the edge. Surely that is long enough."
It's a good thought, Ash. She'll come back down the ladder. There's nothing to see or anything to do. If there's zero way that she can walk in there, so like the floor is entirely gone, then she'll come back down.
Okay, yeah, you make it safely all the way back down. Yeah, there was nothing really up there.
So she'll pick up the stick that she grabbed before, and she's just going to tap the surface of this liquid to see if it reacts like a liquid or if there's like tension to it, like a gel. Or,
it's very viscous as you put the stick in. Nothing happens to the stick that you can tell, but it's a very viscous fluid.
Okay, actually, I think your idea is pretty good, Ash. Maybe we should lower the ladder and dip that in and try to see if we can scrape move the skeleton more towards us.
If that starts being the plan, Erasmus says, "Listen, I'm gonna go outside and kind of like stand watch. We're clearly not the only ones who come here, and I'd hate for us to get ambushed by more cats since we don't have any more of those bombs." So, and he's gonna go out. I'm already outside on the map, but he's gonna go and be like on the steps.
Okay. Are you just kind of keeping a lookout, or are you looking for anything specifically, or just in case anybody's approaching?
In case anyone's approaching, but specifically, I'm listening out for that ticking sound since I know that the night cats or whatever they were called. They're very real. So
yeah, the forest is nearby. You can see the tree line. It's not as close as you once were, but it's there, visible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're keeping watch.
What do you think, Rune? What do you think? Should we continue doing this, or?
Yes, I think so. I think that's a good plan. I mean, nothing happened to the stick.
No, and it looks like all of the effects of whoever this once was are intact. It really is only his flesh that it was eaten away. Whoever it was that fell in. So trying to recover his items. As long as we don't actually touch whatever this is, I think we probably would be okay. It seems that way, at least.
Does. Worth a try, I suppose.
Okay, so you guys are trying to hook the skeleton with a ladder?
Yeah.
Okay, and
So
all three of you guys, I guess, are working? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you end up, after some time passes, you're able to kind of hook the head and the body of the skeleton between some of the rungs and start dragging it over. The only thing you leave behind is the half the rope. So there's a silk rope at the bottom, torn. That half is left behind. But yeah, you start to back your way up out of the little, I don't want to call it a dais, but the top of the stairs on the staircase, and eventually bring the skeleton out. Go sitting there, or lying there, I should say, on the at the top of the stone steps, and some of Some of that amber liquid is pooling underneath it.
Does the skeleton look like it's still covered in that liquid, or did it kind of run off or like?
It's kind of
come
a
out
slightly glistening wet surface, but it's more or less gone, yeah.
Okay. So she'll check the Sparrow, get closer and look at the items. You said he had a belt.
Yeah, there's a
with
belt pouch. Yeah, there's a belt pouch on him. He's wearing a belt pouch. He's wearing chainmail, which looks in fantastic condition. And he's also has the rope. There's part of a rope that's kind of just entwined with his ribs.
So, okay, yeah. So I think that Sparrow might take a bit of cloth so that she's not actually touching it, and might try to remove the belt to to pull it away from the body, and then wants to look at what's in the pouch.
Okay, yeah, you do that successfully and to no ill effect. And you open the pouch and there's more glittering inside. You see gold, a lot of it. But you've never seen markings like this before. It appears to be very old. So whatever currency this is not the current currency used in the cities. But it's still gold. Definitely still gold. Mm-hmm. And I guess I'll say you spend a little bit of time just to figure out how much is in there. There's 82 gold in this pouch.
Okay. She's not going to add it to her own gold. She'll put it it's separate. And she'll make sure that there's no more of that substance on the pouch before putting it all back in.
Yeah.
And putting it in her pack, and she'll share how much it was. It looks like there was 60 gold.
Oh, I gotcha.
So
I was gonna correct you, and I'm like, nah, I get it.
the belt itself, is it just like a leather belt?
Yeah, it's a leather belt, ordinary leather belt. The chainmail, like I said, though, is pretty nice looking. And he's got some, clothes, old clothes, but none of this. That's the amazing thing. None of this is. None of it's weathered, torn, threadbare. It looks newish, right? Everything. Mm-hmm. Nothing's damaged by time, even though the gold coins you did find told of an ancient, I don't want to call it ancient civilization, but the markings are unfamiliar to you.
Okay, just make sure.
And don't forget there's a silk rope as well. I'll say half a silk. I'll say it's, let's just say it's 20 feet.
Okay. I don't think that. I don't know. Is the silk rope? Do you think is it worth trying to retrieve? Talking to Rune and to Erasmus.
I mean, if you have 60 gold now, we could just buy a rope, right?
Do you guys have a rope? Anybody?
I meant to buy some. I meant to buy some when we were in town, and I didn't do it because it's only five. It's only 5 gold.
It reminds me of a Dragon Bane. Didn't we go to? Wasn't there like a time nobody had torches or something too? And you're like, wait a minute,
it was rope.
Yeah,
it was just only rope. Okay,
we're very anti-rope.
Yeah. Oh, and just so you guys know, torches in this game, I think they have 3 uses. So they can be relit 3 times, lamps indefinitely, but they cost oil.
Yeah. Well, Erasmus is actually still outside, right?
Yeah.
So
looking around.
He's not there, but Ash says silk is soft, but yeah, it's not extraordinarily expensive. I think we could leave that behind.
And as you guys are sitting here talking, the wind picks up. and you smell something foul. It smells like death, smells like rot. And the wind is coming from the south to the north. And as you look across sort of you look in that direction, you do notice that the land becomes more of a bog. So right in this area, it's like semi-bog, it's like transitional bog. Mm-hmm. But down there, you can tell that's where the bog gets more boggy. Yeah. But yeah, there's a stench coming from that direction.
Oh, that smells very bad. Must be what that mean old man was talking about.
Yeah, Erasmus will meet back up with everybody. Like, he was a little ways away.
Was there anything you were like particularly looking for or investigating in this area, or just a generalized lookout?
Generalized lookout. I was mainly making sure, like, my main focus was on as far down the path as I could see, just to make sure that nobody was coming up behind us without our knowing about it.
Oh, gotcha. So you're looking specifically for, like, on the path?
Yeah, mostly that.
Okay. All right.
And but yeah, he'll come back to the others and he'll say, yeah, so the old man and his wind god, they're really upset with us because they're sending this awful smell up this way. And you said that it's like, it almost is like visually becoming more of a bog, right? Is that what you were saying?
Toward the south. So you kind of made your way through here, and there's trees around, and you were very focused on this very magnificent tower, this old tower. But now that this stench rolls across the ground, you can see, you look in that direction specifically and see that it's very, very boggy to the south. And you have this map as well. So when you look at the map, you do see there's fens or bogs that are dominating the east part of the East Lake.
He says, we probably shouldn't linger here too long. I can get used to a bad smell. I come from the city, but this one, I just have a gut feeling about this. And the gut and the rut and all that, so...
Yes, we know. Yes, the two... I don't remember what you said. Should we take this armor? Perhaps somebody would recognize it as... if we bring it back to town and show it to a few people and see if anybody, and describe what we've seen here, we might be able
to identify
this for
wear this. I guess none of you guys are real like fighter types, but
Ash might put it on.
To my knowledge, like there's no penalties for wearing like chainmail. It's not like a class-based thing.
Yeah, it's just bulky, is all.
Yeah, just bulky, so it takes 2 inventory slots, but yeah.
And it's the second to the best armor you can get. So
what's the armor rating?
2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I have Ash says, if nobody else wants it, I'll put it on. I'll put it on. And he takes off his robe, and he's just standing there in little underwears, and and starts to put on the armor.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say out here in the sunlight, this liquid appears to be kind of receding from all of the things you guys picked up.
He'd be very careful if he sees anything.
It has a smell to it. Yeah, it has a smell to it. Which Rune, now that you're more close to this thing and it's sort of wafting off the material, if you had to guess, it probably has flammable properties.
Ooh.
That changes things.
Yeah. Make some Molotov cocktail vibes.
But still, there could be other characteristics about it you're not quite sure, but it's definitely not water. It's definitely not like lantern oil or anything like that, but you get a sense of flammability. That's a word.
Combustibility, maybe?
Combustibility. Yeah, whether or not there are other properties involved, you're not quite sure. You'd have to have some time and some of your equipment in your little lab to decipher what it might be.
Hmm. Okay, I'll let them know.
Okay.
I don't think I have any like little glass bottles or anything where I could collect some.
Well, there's a lot of it, and it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. So
Yeah, that's true.
you guys
I
could
will
always
say-
come back if you want.
You do have an oil can that has 6 uses, and you could maybe empty that to fill it in with this stuff.
Do you have a lantern though, or a lamp?
I don't
As
think
well?
anyone has a lamp.
No, you just have lantern oil. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
not getting used anywhere.
there is that, or you could
Well,
buy a
yeah.
lamp. Yeah, whatever you guys find more useful for sure.
That's true. Okay, yeah. All right, she's feeling kind of rich since we just found gold, so she'll dump out the 6 uses and put a
Okay.
little bit of this liquid in there.
Yeah, awesome. All right, yeah, you're very careful not to touch it, filling this up. Okay. All right.
I think
what would
that
you-
before we leave, I think
Mhm.
that now that we have that gold, I think that she will. I think that Sparrow will say, "All right, well, we should distribute this gold then." So that is 60 gold. Let's see. There's 4 of us, so she's doing math. And she will distribute equally as possible the 60 gold amongst the 4 of us.
Okay. All right, so you distribute the gold.
Yep.
You guys can make notes of.
So everybody gets an extra 15 gold.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sparrow is very honest, and
Thank you, Sparrow. That's so generous.
you're welcome. It's only fair. So Ash has 21 gold.
So you guys are standing here, and it's still afternoon. It's starting to get a little bit later after all of this searching and examining, and the wind starts to pick up from the south, carrying with it more stench, also carrying with it some clouds. So it starts to become a little more overcast and cooler.
We should
The
go.
air is a little more damp.
Yeah,
I thi-
let's make like a tree and leave.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
I've heard that one before.
That is a good one because of the leaves on the trees. Great.
Yes, it sounds like a leaf. Yes, it's good.
Pure
Yeah.
comedy gold. So where do you guys want
Uh,
to go? Do you guys want to go back the way you came, around the lake to the north? Do you want to head
Yeah.
further south to the stenchy bog, or do you want to follow the trail southward along East Lake?
Does it look like it's about the storm? Like
Not
we should
really.
get it?
No, I wouldn't say stormy. It's just kind of getting a little, more toward evening and late afternoon, and just some cloud collecting over. It doesn't look like it's going to rain or anything like that, but
Okay.
the weather's shifted slightly.
I mean, if we stick to the path, I wouldn't mind continuing south and around the rest of the lake. We can pass by that farm before heading back to town.
Okay. Is that everybody wants to do?
If everybody else, if that's what everybody else wants to do, or we could head back the way we came. Either way.
What do you think, Rune? Should we listen to that old man and stay away from the fens, or do we seek out more adventure?
Well, I do love adventure. I'm a little hesitant after this cats, but let's
Well,
let's do it.
Just as a reminder, I have the main map of Twin Lakes up. So you guys were exploring here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The scent was coming from the south.
Yep.
You can also follow this safe road, quote unquote safe road, that is not going through the bog but running along the east side of Eastlake.
All right, Sparrow, lead the way. We're
Okay.
with you.
So Sparrow will start walking with everybody's kind of following, and she's keeping an eye out for anything that's like in the bog, anything that looks off. If she sees anything of particular
Okay,
interest.
so you're staying on the road, but looking for something in the direction of the stench. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you keep a lookout. And you do. So it only takes you about a handful of minutes before you locate where the stench potentially is coming from, or where it appears to be the strongest. And you see a mound rising up from the bog. So bogs are typically, relatively flat. There's some trees poking up here and there, and some taller grasses. But you see this mound rising up from the earth that is very distinct. It's also made of grass and other detritus. You can't quite make out everything from this distance. But that appears to be where the stench is coming from. You can see insects, possibly flies, possibly something else. It's like a dark cloud swarming over top it.
How big is the mound?
I'll say it's probably like, I don't know, 15, 20 feet across, maybe, by your estimation.
Okay. And it's out here?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you suppose that is?
I don't know. Maybe it's like a bog whale or something.
No, it's possible it's a body with a stench like that, and we are looking
for more than one for a mound that large.
Could be a Cairn. That's not what they're called.
A what?
What we're playing, a Cairn.
A cairn. A pile of stones.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be more like a barrow, right? But yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it could be. Shall I? I can go take a look real quick. I'll be very careful not to. Where I'm walking, I don't want to fall into the if there's any deep parts of the marsh. How far away does it look from
it's
the
just
path?
like a few minutes walk, maybe. It's pretty close.
You want me to go with you? I'm pretty good on my legs.
I mean, that sounds good. We can all go. I don't want to. If it's dangerous. I don't know.
I think just the two of us is good. Because what if it is a bog whale and then it swallows us whole? It'd be awful if all four of us were swallowed. I'd hate for 60 gold pieces to not get spent later because we're all dead.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen. And she will set off towards this mound.
Okay. You head off alone.
Well, whoever is following.
Who's
leading?
Who's going along?
I'm gonna go, and then if Rune and Ash want to come too, they can. It's up to them.
I think Erasmus is right. There might be a bog whale, so I think I'll come back here.
Ash will wait there then too.
I've faced enough beasts today.
Well, unless you want Ash. So Ash is sort of a nature boy. So if you want him to accompany you, he might have some certain knowledge about where you guys are heading.
Well, you know what? I would switch places. Like Erasmus, he's really smart, right? So he would have thought of that. So I'll switch places with Ash and stay behind.
Okay.
And while they're going off, Erasmus is just talking to Rune, and he's like, "Look, I don't mean to like freak you out or anything, but the other night I had a dream like everybody was getting killed by cats, and you were getting killed by those cats, and the bomb fell down from your hand and it blew you up. It was wild. It was wild.
I had that very dream.
Yeah, isn't that not weird?
So real.
Wow.
It's very odd. This place is weird.
Okay, so Sparrow and Ash make their way through the bog, and Ash says, "Watch your step." And he kind of starts pointing out areas that seem to be safe to cross, and you guys are approaching, and you start to see rotting corpses of animals here and there. So you didn't see any from the road, but now that you're approaching, you can see just these partially submerged corpses in various states of decay. Various kinds of wildlife, of course. Nothing monstrous that you can identify. And then once you get a little closer, you find what appears to be a human body. You see an arm and some fingers reaching out, not reaching up like a Night of the Living Dead thing, but laying on the ground, and you can see that the rest of the body appears to be covered by this bog, the soil in the bog.
Yeah, she'll get closer to this body. She'll creep up, and she's looking around. She's watching her surroundings as she creeps up to it. And
go ahead.
Yeah, looking at it, she wants to see if there's anything identifiable about what she can about it. The hand, does it have any jewelry on it?
No, there's no jewelry whatsoever. But like I said, the flesh is rotting off the bone here and there. It looks like some animals have gotten to it. It appears to be a male hand.
She'll start moving some of what is buried on top of it.
Yeah.
Is it, soil, or is it
as you do this, you notice that it's it appears to be put here. So it's almost as if somebody buried this body, shoveled some of this earth, dug a hole into the bog, and shoveled some of this earth on top of it. So it's very easy to move. It's not like, compacted and attached to the rest of the soil. So you do this, and you find a man, and he is bloodied. He is decayed, stinks. You're just kind of like, you're almost taken aback by the terrible smell that emanates from it.
Yeah, I pull up my my hood and my face mask to kind of be able to stand it.
Ash will be like, I wonder if this is a botched ceremony of the Waterborn originally.
I have no idea. What would make you think that?
That old man just seems like he's pretty convinced that the Waterborn are coming out here and doing suspicious things. They could be involved.
Well, don't forget that it's the Tideborn who hired us to come and find this missing person. They're the ones that are going to be paying us 750 gold pieces. So I'm less likely. I don't really want to listen to what that old man had to say about them, at least yet. Like I said, I've seen a lot of weird customs and things, and worse than drowning, if you can believe it.
Oh, I can believe it. I would think you of all people would know that even the crooked will hire the not crooked to do their public work.
It's true.
So I'm playing Ash like he's super suspicious of the Waterborn.
Ash,
sorry, Ducky.
Please get yourself together, okay? Let's focus on what we're doing right now.
Right.
So as I'm unburying this corpse, I'm using. I don't really have like tools for this or anything, but
you can drag the body out if you want, just once you remove all the stuff, unless you were referring to something else.
And I would be looking for like identifiable like features, clothing that's still on. Does this guy have a mustache?
Yeah,
That kind of thing.
he's wearing common clothes as far as you can tell. But once you start unearthing his body, he's a burly dude. He's a big, strong guy. But he's definitely very dead and clearly not in very good shape.
Any
probably like
pockets or
30s, mid
pouches?
30s, maybe ish.
Okay. Does he have anything with him? Anything on his body that might have? Looking for pouches or pockets or robes?
No,
or
yeah, you kind of search through his things. He doesn't have any items of interest on his. He's wearing some pants. He doesn't have any shoes. He has a tunic on, but it's like it's torn. It's in tatters. But yeah, that's about it. No rings, no necklaces, no any identifiable features.
And it looks like he was killed. Animals got to him, but that doesn't look like an animal killed him. It looks like he was maybe beaten up or something.
No, he looks like he's been murdered, if you had to
Okay.
guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's definitely there's enough left of him to see that it feels like he was killed out here or put out here.
The Reeve. It must have been the Reeve.
Can I tell, like, maybe by his hair, what is his hair color, or anything that I could go back when we?
Yeah, it's kind of
like, hey, we
kind
found
of
a body, and
Yeah.
you know,
it's like a dirty blonde, kind of a little shaggy, but yeah.
do we know what color hair Uldra had? The missing.
I don't think you guys ever asked, if I remember correctly. I don't know if you got a physical description of him or not.
Okay.
We can roll the fate of the die of fate if you want to.
Yeah,
Sure,
let's
yeah.
do that.
Let's do it. Who wants to roll a die of fate? So basically, a 4 and higher is in your favor. Below that is not in your favor.
Sparrow rolls, and Sparrow asked.
All right, Sparrow, roll a d6. No, it's a 4. So yes, you did get information regarding Aldra's appearance, and this appears to match. He was a stout, a burly man working at the butcher shop. He had kind of dirty blonde hair, a short cropped beard. But if you had to guess, this is Aldra.
Ah, shit. Oh my god, what's that? Is that 1,000 gold right underneath them? Should we die of fate it?
It doesn't look like 1,000 to me. It looks like maybe 700 or so.
Yeah, and upon closer inspection, I forgot to mention this, apologies. But like I said, his tunic is kind of torn, and his rib cage is kind of caved in. And I guess you're more or less kind of used to the stench or maybe ashes, and you notice that his heart has been completely removed.
Interesting.
Ugh. Man,
Well,
poor Aldra. I was hoping
yeah.
we'd find him alive at a table talk, but this is a bummer.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to carry him back to town, but I don't really want to leave him here. Perhaps we should carry him out to the road, set him there, and then go to town and let them know that we have found him.
So, does he not have like a wedding ring or anything? There's nothing we could bring back to prove to Flavia, whatever her name is. Is there anything we could bring to prove back his?
Let's roll another die of fate.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah.
If you
Go for
find
it,
some
Ash.
kind of other identifiable item. No, unfortunately, he's been stripped of all jewelry and everything, yeah.
Should we leave him here where he lay, or should we bring him back out to the road?
I think I could use my vine to bring. We should maybe try to bring him back as close to town as possible so that he can be given proper burial. I'm sure his wife would want that.
Okay, that sounds good.
Because if I remember correctly, his whip can wrap and like kind of grasp onto something the size of a horse. So it should be able to.
Ashes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hudlum in the chat says, take his head. That's what I was thinking, but that's kind of dark, right?
I mean, it's honestly his head might be the cleanest thing to bring instead of this mostly decomposed.
Yeah, I'll just let you guys know. So along the side of the road, the road and near the lake, there's trees and stuff. So it's not completely just wide open like grasslands or anything. So if you guys wanted to like move his body and conceal it somewhere, there's plenty of places to do so.
What do you think? Do we just take his head back? I could remove it with my dagger and put it in the cooking pot I have.
I mean, you could. He's got
so
hair.
dark,
You could take a shock of his hair. You know, like there's other things.
I could peel his face off. That should
no, that's a worse idea. Maybe some of his hair. Let's do that, and we'll leave his body here. And then we will mark on the path where we deviated so that we can find it again easily.
Okay.
So she will use one of her daggers to cut a lock of his hair, and then kind of put it away, and then start heading back to the path.
Yeah, and if I wasn't clear, the mound is just right there, very close by, and there's like flies and mosquitoes and stuff buzzing around it. But you do see there's lots of, including this body, there's other animals and stuff scattered around it. But the mound from here. Mound, yeah, go ahead.
Is it? I know some of these they have like there's an entrance to it. It's like a hollow. So I guess she might like stand up now and like looking past the corpse, look at this mound. And does it look like, does she see anything that makes it look like it's not like a natural hill or?
Yeah, it looks man-made. It looks like someone dragged a bunch of, wood, logs, fallen trees, piles of dirt, and assembled this thing.
Okay. So I guess she'll get closer to it and then begin like, I don't know if she wants to climb up it, but she might try to walk around it.
Yeah, you walk around it and just kind of keep an eye out.
Yeah.
So you walk around the perimeter and you find an area at one side of it. We'll say it's the east side that it looks a little bit darker and somewhat caved in than the rest of it. But there's still twigs and things kind of crisscrossing, but it looks as if there's something beyond, perhaps.
She'll approach that section and take a closer look.
Yeah, you look down and you see what you think it's kind of a stone material, but it's like no stone you've ever seen. There are no like masonry chisel marks or anything like that. It looks like this very oddly clean kind of blue-black stone is the only word that comes to mind in your mind. Material. Patches of it. They're all concealed and it appears to be coming down. And as you're kind of kneeling down there inspecting this, you smell... what do you smell? You smell earth, of course. It smells earthy, emanating from it, but then also lightly floral. And you don't see many flowers dotting this bog.
Ash, do you recognize this substance, this stone?
He says,
embedded into this mound.
No, it's like nothing I've ever seen. And he kind of reaches down and touches it, kind of starts rubbing away some of the muck, and you see like a sharp drop off. And he kind of pushes a little bit further in there, and you see a step and another step, and these steps are leading down into darkness.
She turns to look at Ash as she sees that there's an entrance to this place, and she's like, "Well, I don't want to go in there. Just the two of us. We should retrieve Erasmus and Rune."
I agree.
And we will run back over to join them, let them know what we found, and then see if they want to check that out more or return, since it is getting kind of late in the day. So she'll say, "We think that we have found the person we were looking for, Uldra the Butcher. I took proof so that we can show whoever it is that we needed to tell. But there was an entrance to this mound that was hidden by a strange rock-like substance. Pushing through it, there's an entrance to it. I'm very curious as to what is on the inside. Perhaps we'll more evidence as to what happened with Uldra."
So I picture like Erasmus and Rune, staring at Sparrow and giving her the attention as she spoke. But then he immediately turns to Rune and says, "So basically, I had become this butterfly, when I started out as a caterpillar, but then I decided I really wanted to be a moth. That was probably the weirdest dream I'd ever had." Because we were talking about dreams.
Yes. So you found the man we're looking for?
Yes, I'm quite sure. He was like kind of buried. I'm sorry, you said moth?
No, this is more important. You found our guy. You found Uldra.
Oh, yes. Very like buried kind of quickly. It looked like not very well. Part of him was already stuck out of the ground, but his hair color matched. It looked like he was murdered, and his just a quick look, his heart had been removed.
Wow. Case closed, right? We tell his wife, we go tell Dasani, we get that 200 gold pieces or whatever it was he offered, and then
let me remind you of that, because there are, I guess, stipulations, and I myself don't remember either. So let's see. So he agreed to pay you guys, the party, a sum of 750 gold pieces to determine his whereabouts, and a bonus of 250 gold piece if you recovered his body and then return it to a Tideborn acolyte for proper burial. So quite the almost 1,000 gold pieces if you do both of those things.
That's enough gold to buy just about anything we could want.
Oh yes, that is 200 gold pieces just laying in the bog, waiting to be taken.
Yeah,
but I still I cannot say enough. I want to know what's inside of that entrance.
Could be more gold.
Could be a lot of things.
It's getting late, though. Although, if we don't do it now, someone could come back and find this place and hide it up again.
And Ash says, and I think maybe we should reconsider trying to bring the whole body back. Because now that we're recollecting the fact that if we bring the body back for proper burial, like he suggested, that equals more money. And that's ultimately why we're doing this. I'm just kind of a I'm an old school greedy adventurer. So
why don't we go take a look? And if we don't like what it looks like right when they're on the entrance, we'll come right back out. We'll grab that body, and we'll take it back.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, that sounds great. What does Milky think? We never ask Milky what it thinks.
Yeah. I think
All right.
Do it.
Sounds like we're all in agreement.
Okay. So, who's going in? Everybody?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. You step
Walk back over to the barrow.
Yeah, I guess you guys start moving the detritus away, clearing a path, and you do see a staircase descending down into darkness. It is pitch black down there. You'll know that you'll require a torch or a lamp or something like that to be able to see beyond where the sun is reaching.
I
But
have
the stone,
a torch.
You got a torch? Okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, the stone is strange. It's like this just almost a continuous piece of masonry, like a marble, but like it's like this bluish black, and there's this very subtle shimmer to it. But you guys, where is my... Okay. Let me bring some... What is the marching order? You guys let me know.
Erasmus will probably be leading.
Okay.
He's got armor. He has good armor on. He's good with his dagger and his sling, and he's not, he's not really a leader type, but when it comes to dangerous situations, he's more willing to be up front. Because remember, I actually never expressed this since session 0, but he fights a lot of monsters because his body is covered in tattoos of monsters that he's fought, and he has the weak points of monsters highlighted.
Oh,
which
nice.
He's gonna definitely get tattoos of those cats probably on his back, and he's just gonna have their weakness be an explosion. So that's all he learned from that.
Nice. Okay, so who's behind Erasmus?
I think Ash probably will be the back of the line.
Okay.
Since he also is wearing heavy armor, in case something attacks us.
Yeah.
As we pass them.
Good call.
Sparrow can be second.
All
Right behind Erasmus.
Okay, and then Rune will be behind that. Okay, so let me activate this here. And you ignite your torch, Erasmus.
Yep.
You step down into this dark and cold chamber. You do notice to your left and right, there are these strange sconces with these diamond-shaped objects that are protruding from the corners of the walls, or the side of the walls. And like I said, the entirety of the ground, the walls, the ceiling is this bluish black material that's like nothing you've ever seen before. And you guys see a very small chamber immediately, and there are statues. There are 4 statues. This one here is a bulbous cluster of eggs held by this scaled hand reaching up. And this one over here, well, let me move around. So this one down here, it looks like a cluster of these fungal spores growing from a salt-like pillar. And this one up here to the northeast, it's a very large spore with these veins protruding on the sides. And you can see something There's an outline of something vaguely reptilian visible within. And finally, this one down here, it looks like a copper-like ring. So there's a pedestal where a statue once sat, but what's left behind is this copper ring on its base. But it's completely pitch black. And yeah, very quiet. What would you guys like to do?
The passageway continues.
Yeah, it continues south. Mm-hmm.
Erasmus will
Keep walking.
keep walking.
Okay, you do see that the corridor branches off to the east.
It turns right down here.
Do you see anything down there?
I don't see anything straight ahead. No, I'm gonna go a little further ahead.
All right, be careful.
Okay, you continue onward and you see that the corridor continues eastward, but then also makes a sharp turn to the south.
So we can either go straight or we can make a right. I'm gonna stand
Do
right
you see
here.
anything in the room to the south?
Not really.
Do you want to
I
look
don't
like,
like
deeply in there, or what do you guys?
Yeah, I don't like to pass by passageways. I think we should check that out and then continue on it, depending on what's in there.
Yeah, your torchlight reaches into this room. This chamber opens up, and on the southernmost, right here, this wall down here, you see looks like pottery. Looks like urns, ancient urns that are arranged, stacked.
Erasmus.
But that's all you see from there.
Continue.
Okay. So I forgot to mention, the way this thing works in Cairn is there's a dungeon procedure. So you guys around the table, let me know what you're going to do for every chamber. We'll just skip through that first one since you guys are traveling. But now that we've arrived in a chamber, you guys let me know what you want to do, and then we'll all have it unfold simultaneously. And then just so you know that mechanically speaking, the longer you spend in one spot, the more you could possibly trigger encounters, dungeon encounters. Right. So for instance, you guys basically have one entire turn. Each of you guys can do something, and it can be like, it doesn't have to be like I draw my sword or I light a torch. It could be something more complex than that. Like I want to search the room in detail. And then after that, in your next turn, something might happen. There might be an encounter. So the more you linger, the more the odds are that something might happen.
Cool.
So that said, is Sparrow and Rune following Erasmus into the chamber?
Sparrow is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rune?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just say all of you guys are kind of together.
Okay.
So in this room, and we'll cut it after this, you see, like I said, there's some ancient pottery arranged down here on the southern wall. Up here, Sparrow, you see it because you're closest, is it looks like just piles of paper, withered scrolls, fragments of eggshells, strange things like that. Just piles of almost like discarded items, paper items, I should say. But like I said, weird eggshell-like things. And then also, you notice that on this side, this wall over here, there are seams. So these really strange, narrow seams you see running along the wall. And I guess we'll cut it there tonight with that description, and we will revisit Cairn, Trouble, and Twin Lakes next week. So thank you guys for hanging out with us on the stream. And if you're watching this far on the VOD, appreciate it. And let me pull the window up so I can shut the stream down. But Thanks so much, everybody, as usual, for all the likes, the comments, the feedback. We appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.